Hello, you alright?
Yes, fine.
Bit cold. It's dropped, hasn't it? Alright to have a brew. Is that alright?
What would you like?
Oh, black coffee it'll be there.
Black?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's alright.
sugar?
No, thank you. No.
Do the coffee first.
Appreciate
then
it.
I'll send it.
Alright, thank you. Go talk to Paddy.
Right, well I am severely pissed off because I've just recorded about half an hour's worth of a video on this here speed triple and it's fucking not work. The camera wasn't, mic wasn't plugged in properly, so fucking Jesus Christ. Oh well, right, we'll get on with it again. We'll restart. Okay, I've only got fucking 40 minutes of 40% battery left. Right, hello. Here we are with the 2021 speed triple. I've just ridden down here very quickly, apparently. This thing is absolutely blown my mind. There's a lot of good about it. There's a few bad bits that we'll get up. Well, I say bad, you know, slightly negative that I'll get onto very shortly. But just look at that carbon fibre mudguard. One of the first things you'll notice compared to the street triple is the back end looks completely different. You know, its sculpt is completely different, and the tank is more bulbous. I don't know, it seems thinner but fatter, like a Cobra, and then there's a lot more depth to it. And also, check this fucker out. One sec, where has it gone? I've kind of parked in the wrong spot for a walk around, haven't I, eh? Keyless. It's keyless. Anyway, I've just pulled over because I realised by looking in the mirror that I hadn't plugged my microphone in properly, and so I've done all this big giggles and lots of oh my god this is amazing and all that shit to have it not recorded. So we'll bump it on, steering, lock, disengage. Oh cool, wow, that's cool. First thing about this bike, the sound is completely different. Sorry mate, thank you. Right, let's get out of here before some other fucker turns up. Right, so to be fair, it's probably best that I do the ride now than what I did before, primarily based on the fact that I've got my gushing out of the way now, slightly. I fucking love this bike, just saying. Turning circle on it, squeaky brakes, squeaky brakes. Needless to say, oh man, needless to say, I fucking love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. First getting on it, like I said, you won't know, but it's very weird. It feels like a twin. Down in the lower rev ranges, it feels like a very lazy twin. It's very difficult to do the speed limit on it. Yeah, so it feels like the lumpiness of a twin at the bottom end. It's very strange. It's like, I think that's the Euro 5 stuff there, but it feels a lot like my Panigale 959 when I had that. Now, love it or hate it, I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent with that, to be honest. It takes a while to pick up. The power is completely different to the street triple. I'm going to be comparing this to the street triple, of course. And also the quick shifter is seemingly very temperamental, but also very good when it works. First into second is just unreal. It just feels very spongy and very. I don't know. A lot of people like the clunkiness of a gearbox sometimes, but I'm quite sort of partial to a nice sort of soft, juicy feel, and clicking it up with a bit of click in there. It's quite tactile. It's almost like a mechanical key on a keyboard, if you know what that means. But this thing is just big bumps. This is bringing lots of smiles to my face, put it that way. And the first thing that I noticed when getting on it is it feels very, very similar to the street triple, although what I have said in the video that I just did and didn't record was I'm not getting as bad of a knee pain or back pain and I've ridden this for maybe half an hour now. And the other bike, the Street Triple, it feels more roomier than the Street Triple, I think is what I'm trying to say. It feels roomier than a Street Triple, and it feels like I'm not as sort of squashed together lengthways. I feel like I've got more room. I don't feel like the seat is digging into my sort of gooch area near as much. The front of the seat on the Street Triple is a lot narrower, and this just feels a lot more roomy. Also, if the angle's a bit different on the camera, I do apologise, but this tank's a bit more bulbous, so I don't know what it's going to look like basically. One of the annoyances on this bike already really is the fact that where my knees are, they're resting on the actual frame of the bike. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Very, very smooth. It doesn't feel like I'm in second, put it that way. It feels like I'm in a higher gear because I'm obviously used to the Street Triple. Now, I'm no stranger to big bikes coming from the Street Triple. The Street Triple is not the most powerful bike I've ever had. But don't get me wrong, it's not a slow bike. As soon as you get that bike up into the higher RPMs, the thing's manic. But this thing has got the mid-range that I have been missing, basically, and I didn't realise I was missing it. This thing is just a rocket ship, but it's not overly intimidating, which I really like. It is very forgiving on the power. This is oh fucking hell, this is in road mode, don't get me wrong, so you know it could be different in the other modes, but I'm still trying to get used to this bike. I don't want to go anything too fucking crazy right now, but it has got a lot of nice power in that mid-range. It really has. That mid-range is beautiful. Like I said before, if you get it too down low in the rev rate, like I'll show you now, 40 mile an hour in 4th gear usually is okay on a bike, but this, it's very twinny. I mean, there's a lot there, it's just not very responsive with it, if that makes any sense. But what I've been missing is just the ability to just stick in one gear and do that. Straight past, and as soon as it gets past 5,000 RPM, the thing just takes off. I was worried that this thing wouldn't be as nimble and it wouldn't be as agile, but this thing is fucking phenomenal. Like, it just wants to stick to corners, man. It is just... The brake on the front isn't particularly great, but I think that's just because it's a demo bike, and the rear brake on this is phenomenal. It really is beautiful. But I feel like I have to go down a gear, so whereas in the Street Triple I'd be, you know, 3rd in 3rd, 4th in 4th, 5th in 5th, etc., would be tolerable. It'd be nice, it would just sit there. This is very, very chuggy at those speeds and gears. And I don't know why, like I said, it reminds me a lot of a twin at the bottom, of how chuggy it can be. It's not intimidating, it's not scary, unless you want to give it some. Like that. And that's not even anywhere near the top end of the thing. It doesn't feel like a bloater either. It doesn't feel like it's a lot heavier than the Street Triple, which it is. Good God, that thing wants to go. I'm more liking the Olins up front than the big piston forks. This thing has just got power enough to get past absolutely anything, and that's in 4th, you know. So here's the real test for me now. Also, the quick shifter can be really nice. You just tap it and it's gone down into gear. It's beautiful. The real test for me is going to be on these dual carriageways and stuff, because that's where I'm getting a lot of the pains. A lot of pains and problems are coming from the dual carriageway for me because of the vibrations. Now, I'm still feeling the vibrations on this bike, absolutely. The vibrations are there, and I think they are there to stay with these kinds of bikes, I'm afraid, because they're using the same bars, and they are using the same bar ends. Does not like being low, this bike, at all. It's very, very chuggy feeling. Oh, it's just so smooth on that quick shift. I thought the Street Triple quick shifter was smooth, but fucking hell. The thing has just got such a nice amount of usable torque. It's unreal, and it feels a hell of a lot more planted than the Street Triple. It's quite a windy day. I think the extra weight helps it on these kinds of roads. I feel, like I said before, I feel like I've got more space than the Street. The Street Triple feels quite, I say small. For me, I think that's where a lot of the pain is coming from, is the distance from here to my back. And why are you slowing down, mate? Why are you slowing down, you fucking idiot? You're doing fifth. What the fuck are you doing? Pull over, man. The front feels a lot more stable on this bike than the Street. The suspension feels like it's not floating over potholes, and it's not like it's jarring me or anything like that. I just feel a lot more secure, and it's so compliant. That sounds going to sound a bit stupid. It feels heavier, but it doesn't feel like a bad amount of weight, and it's got plenty of give. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, the Street Triple is not a slow bike. The only thing oh yeah, I've got cruise control, haven't I? I need to try the cruise control, because I'm wondering if that might help a little bit. You know, my lower back is where my disc's pain is, and my legs up here are starting to ache a little bit, but it is no way near as bad as the Street, because I feel like I have more room than on the Street. I'm really starting to feel like I really, you know, I maybe got the wrong bike. I think this being a bigger bike, maybe it's for me more, I don't know, but again, there are a few issues with this bike. The vibrations are still there, but my arms aren't numb. Well, what I don't want to do is end up going, oh yeah, gush for this bike, and then within a month I'm like, oh, it's the same thing. Things are starting to ache a little bit, but like I said, on the Street Triple coming up to Stoke, it was miles worse. But the thing that I've realised with this test ride is that I really have missed the torque. I am a torque person. I'm not a horse. I don't care about horsepower. This has got 180 horsepower. That, and the spec on this bike seems very intimidating, but it is not an intimidating bike whatsoever. It's a very compliant, very nice, easy to ride, very well handling bike. But at the same time, it's very, very quick when you want it to be. I feel like if this was tuned at the bottom end, that might take some of the chugginess out of it, or if you put a can on, could smooth out the bottom a little bit. But as a tourer, you know, I feel like this is a better platform than the Street Triple. Posturing around town and the dual carriageway stuff is what's going to test it for me, because those are the places where I get into the most pain. And yeah, granted, it's winter, things are going to hurt more, whatever. Yeah, I can see you, mate, come on. I mean, look, 20 mile an hour at 20, does not like it. You can feel it chugging along, it doesn't want to go. I really like being nice and sort of tucked into the tank. And on the Street Triple, again, I am on the frame, but I can also lift my knees up if I want to and really tuck under the tank. But with this, not so much. I'm literally on the frame, which doesn't particularly feel very nice. On like the weld as well, it feels very industrial in a way. Oh, that is really smooth. Again, I'm starting to ache in the legs area, but I have been on this for a little bit, for about an hour and a half now. For about an hour now actually. My arms aren't dead, which is surprising. Fucking yeah, does not like being at this low RPM. Very, very chuggy. You feel the engine just not wanting to do it. Not sure if it's a fueling issue or what, but I could do with the rear brake being moved down. I could do with the quick shifter being moved down, the actual lever. Those are all things that will help with the cramp and pains and all that kind of stuff. First gear doesn't feel like a first gear. I'm doing 30 mile an hour in first and it feels fine. Up into second. The low speed stuff, it's not as bad as I first thought it would be. And it really likes that. It really handles really well. Handles very, very well. Fucking hell, man. Oh wow, this thing likes to be leant over. Holy shit. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Are we still recording? I don't know. I think we are. So this has been the Speed Triple. What do I think? I love it, man. The Triumphs these days are fantastic bikes. That's a nice BMW. I don't know if I would say it was better. I'd say that it suits me better. absolutely. It's a bigger bike. That's one thing I forgot to tell you as well, by the way. When I sat on it before, it's a little bit higher, it feels. I can still flat foot it, but it feels like there's a bit more pinch in my ball area. I can flat foot both feet, 5'11", about 85 to 90 kilo, depending on the mood in the day, as we all are. It's wider, like this tank is bigger. It's wide. I don't know if it's wider at the front, but it's definitely wider at the back, and it's more bulbous. The front end feels like the cluster feels bigger, like the headlights look bigger. The actual TFT itself is probably the same size, maybe a little bit smaller than the Street Triple, but the cowling around it is different. I like it. The performance on the dual carriageway wasn't too bad for wind. Probably equals the Street Triple. However, I felt like it handled the oh, that quick shift is amazing. I feel like it handled the wind a little bit better than the Street. Nice little jump there. God, it loves being lent. Oh my god, this Öhlins, man, this Öhlins front and rear is beautiful. I keep jumping from top it to top it, but I have to keep saying this before the battery runs out. The Öhlins on this, if they were set up to my weight properly and a bit more oh god, nice bit of shit coming out of this car. It was set a bit more plush. I think this would suit me a lot better, and it would take a lot of the pain out. So, ooh, it's decision time. It really is. Can I spend 3 years with a Street Triple? Don't know. But will the bottom end chugginess of this start getting to me? Don't know. Go on. Go on. Go on, mate. You're alright. I don't know. Oh, also, yeah, I forgot to mention the exhaust note. The exhaust is nowhere near as nice as the Street Triple's exhaust, but it is a slip-on, and it's got like one of those valves on it that opens up, which is not very nice. Hello, mate. Don't say hello then, you cunt. Brakes are squeaking like fuck though. Oh shit. Yeah, the exhaust note is nowhere near as nice as the Street Triple. It needs a can, desperately needs a can. I think with the full system this thing would sound beast. When the quick shifter works, it works fantastically. It's got really nice mid-range. Oh man, the seat, by the way, very comfortable. I just think this is the better bike for me. I don't care about the top end power. I'm not asked about that. I would be asked about the range and the mileage, stuff like that. We'll see, guys, we'll see. I'm gonna have a bit more fun in the background. If this is still recording, you might see that, I don't know. But until the next time, folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon, I'm sure. Until the next time, folks, sod 'em out. Goodbye.